Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Strategic Command World War II, War in Europe. It is the end of the May 8th, 1942 turn. We have just taken Moscow, splitting the Soviet forces here on this Moscow defensive line, kind of in two, although it would not shock me if the enemy counterattacks at Moscow, because we are in a very narrow salient. They've got a lot of mechanized and infantry units around here. It would not shock me if the enemy counterattack and retake the city this turn. We will see. We had a pretty good turn this time around. We've destroyed 9 enemy units, which seems, that seems like a good amount. In the Middle East, we're trying to mop up and take Iraq. We've already taken Baghdad. And in the ocean lands, we are trying to get some submarines back to port and replenished. I actually haven't done Norway yet, have I? So let's just see about getting these guys back to port. I don't know if it makes sense to try and... I guess we can use these aircraft here. So we actually get 2 airstrikes. Let's do this. Let's hunt. I'm going to use the second strike for this aircraft to see if there's any other enemy ships out there. There don't appear to be. So we'll send our battleship out, or our battle cruiser out. Finish off that enemy destroyer. We did take a little bit of damage, but we were able to get right back into port at Bergen, which is great. So we managed to destroy a British destroyer last turn, and we just destroyed a British destroyer this turn. Their Navy must have commissioned some ships because they were at 33 last turn, and they're there again now. But nonetheless, good news there. We weakened the Royal Navy a little bit. I don't have enough points to reinforce these guys at all. So I'm in the process of shifting my Navy toward the Atlantic. But I need to probably do some upgrades for some of these naval vessels too. But yeah. Meanwhile, did these rockets hit London? Yeah, we already bombed with them. And then the Italians. Did we upgrade with everybody out this way? We already did that. So the Italians could go after the British Navy here. They still have a sub off Greece. Well, that was an ineffective depth charging by the Italian subs over here. Let's see about getting more. My ASW tech's pretty bad on the Italian fleet here. Let's switch these guys over to hunt. There's no convoys to interdict here. And I guess the Egyptian convoy is gone? Because we took Egypt, so does that mean that convoy gets turned off? It would appear like it does, because there's no Iraq convoy either down here. So the only convoys around the northern approach is British Empire, US, UK, Canada, UK, and then USSR, UK. So... yeah. It would be nice if Turkey, we're trying to get Turkey to enter the war. They're a little ways away still, but if they do come into the war, one, it would open up a huge new front on the southern portion of the USSR, but also it would let our ships through the Bosphorus, which I don't think they can go through that way yet. Should be nice if we could do that. But yeah, that's... I guess we need to move these medium bombers out this way. That's going to do it for this turn, though. Let's go ahead and see what the AI has in store for us. So we've got some Italian units taking some attrition. Soviet morale plummets due to the fall of Moscow. Also, we took Leningrad this turn, too. USSR moves their capital to Kubajev, which is what we had said would happen. Oh my god, I left another hex with partisans in our rear. Panic spreads as news spreads that Comrade Stalin has left Moscow. So I'm assuming all these guys take a big morale hit, maybe? Anti-aircraft tech number 2. Let's see how strongly they counterattack Moscow. If they even do. Maybe they'll just try to pull back to the new capital. I don't know. We'll see. Well, they moved the headquarters unit off there, reinforcing some troops here. Quite a few units reinforcing. We attacked a lot all over the Moscow front to try and preempt some of these attacks. But if I was the Soviets, I would more aggressively counterattack at Moscow, because they do not... There are no other... Vladimir is the closest town that would provide supply, and their headquarters unit was pretty badly beat up. I doubt they've got a chain of headquarters here, so I'm hopeful that with us taking Moscow, all of these guys' supply is going to kind of collapse, as effectively the one rail line in to them, for looking in sort of real terms, was cut. You know, where their supply is coming in from. They are counterattacking to the west of Moscow. We took some casualties there. The army in Stalingrad is attacking out. They've got some units along the rail line toward Kubachev that we've been trying to get to Kubachev before the fall of Moscow. We have not been able to do that. But actually quite a bit of attacking along the Moscow front, just kind of in the wrong spots. Or maybe they just haven't gotten there yet. It looks kind of like a broad counterattack along the right flank and a little bit on the left here from the Soviets. I don't think they've got very good supply in this forest to the east of Moscow here. So far, the counterattacks have not been very effective. Interestingly enough, they did not counterattack our tanks in Moscow. They have attacked to the west and to the east of Moscow, but not Moscow directly. Maybe they view those troops on the other flanks as more vulnerable. Which is not necessarily incorrect. Looks like they're still spawning quite a few new units in. I suppose they could be just operating in. I really need to reinforce my air units. They're all very weak. In fact, they're weak enough that I don't feel comfortable attacking with them this turn for risk of them just being destroyed. That corps is surrounded, suffers attrition. Their heavy tanks also suffering attrition here. Again, this forest, I said, I didn't think they had good supply. Turns out I was right. Those units are taking attrition, which basically means their supply is 0. So they had 3 units take attrition damage. American battleships spotted. Alright, we've got 2 new headquarters and a tactical bomber unit. Can we reinforce any of these guys yet? Not fully, but at least somewhat. Okay, let's hit these guys in the salient here. Wow, their morale is not good. Alright, we destroyed that bad guy. Some of these units don't have quite as plummeted, but their morale is way low. The Soviets still has 82 national morale, but... Ooh. I'll take a 0 to 6. Didn't quite turn out that way, but... Alright, we destroyed that armored unit. We'll get the armored train, too. They were at 73 at the end of the last turn. Let's see what they are now. Okay, destroyed the armored train there. What's the... So they were at 73. They've lost 2 units so far, so they got... they were at 77, so they got 4 more... They lost 9 units last turn, but they got 4 reinforcements here. 1 to 4. Supply on some of these armored units is very bad. I will gladly destroy those guys. Okay. Some of these infantry are a little bit better off because they haven't taken attrition damage yet. And they're also... They haven't taken attrition damage, and they're also... Their supply situation's better. Meanwhile, the partisans still hold Smolensk. Can I just finish these guys off for once? Come on, guys. What about these tanks? Can they do anything? A little bit. Got him! Thank goodness you took Smolensk. Alright. Leave a garrison there. What can we do here? Alright, you bomb Luga. And then we will... I can't even move him far enough now. He's got to be here, so just north of Vitebsk. Can we operate one of these anti-tank guns there? Okay, that should be good enough. Alright, meanwhile... let's destroy this isolated core. Got it. Shattered that core. Okay, there's the 11th Army here. Maybe we can surround Luga. Destroyed that shock army there with our mechanized formation. Okay, destroyed the enemy army or unit in Luga. Then damaged the core to the east of Luga. Taking Moscow is such... like, that was such a game changer in terms of the effectiveness of these units in fighting. The interceptors, we've got escorts. Our escorts are much better than theirs. Oops. Destroyed that core east of Luga toward Novigrad. Can we move this guy up to Luga to provide up close? No. I was like, if we could rail this guy to Luga, that'd be great. We can march him there. Should be adequate supply till next turn, then we can... Alright, we'll move this headquarters forward. Okay. So that's good news in northern Russia. Okay. Well, let's try and destroy that mechanized core if it doesn't retreat after that attack. It did not, surprisingly enough. Not going to attack a Zero chance. Okay. Alright, so we reinforce these mechanized cores. Curious if we can get into Urlsk. Can we get to this town? Surzan? Right, these guys have very limited supply. Alright, so they do have troops up there. Okay. To influence their entrenchments? No. What does that even do? Is it literally just a... I mean, we haven't really seen it have an economic impact in England, so I don't really know what it's for. Can we knock these troops back at Kerch? There we go, Kerch falls. Let's get those troops across. Nice. Alright, so we'll have good supply there, and we'll be moving into the flank of the Crimea. Or not Crimea, of the Caucasus. Can we get this British Corps here in Iraq? Alright, well, the German armor is moving on Tehran. I doubt Tehran is unoccupied, but... Meanwhile, we've taken all of Kuwait. Trying to get that Italian headquarters unit up. Okay. These guys should be very low supply next turn, this Indian Corps here in Iraq. Okay. No partisans in Iran either. There are some theoretically in Iraq. Okay, doing some damage to a British sub here in the Med. So it looks like most of the ship upgrades are just giving it better anti-aircraft, I think it is. I think that's what that second number is. Really? An 8? Yeah, okay. Just destroy that guy. Got it. Another British destroyer destroyed. That's 3 days in a row we sank a British destroyer. Bad time to be aboard one, I suppose. These guys have real good experience, and they're going to lose it all to replace their losses. Okay. Get our subs back. After not... It's going to be like 2 months of not hitting British trade. I don't understand. Is it just destroying supply? What do the damn rockets do? Do they do anything worth mentioning? Okay. Alright, the Soviets still have a lot of units, but they're down from like 78 to 63, so they're weaker now than they were at the end of the last turn, too, which is nice. Alright, so we'll get the new headquarters units, which we will deploy east as soon as we can. More tactical bombers showing up. Why is our morale and readiness so low on these guys? It's weird. Not enough headquarters, maybe. Italian research is pretty much maxed. We can do whatever costs 100, which I guess could be logistics. We'll keep the rest of those points for next turn, I think. Alright. Well, we will give it one, maybe 2 more turns to see what happens. Uralsk. If we can get troops in there, that'll be great. I didn't really do anything in front of Stalingrad. Japanese Navy is hammered in the Battle of Midway. We should get our tanks here in the next turn or two as well, our heavy tanks that we were building. They're going to move troops in front of Uralsk, not a surprise. So we can't take it easily, or at least they moved an army down there. Maybe not too strong of a force, but they moved something. I can't quite move to Kuybyshev with the bulk of my force near Moscow until we deal with that huge stack of enemy troops in front of Moscow. Got some air units at Kuybyshev. Strong attack from an overstrength army near Kalinin. Shock army drives a corps back, nearly destroys it. A very strong infantry line also formed up near Stalingrad. Strong counterattacks there against that Romanian corps, I think it is. Got an army here near Kubyshev that's getting attacked by Soviet units to their front. We're really at the end of a long tether here in the drive toward Kubyshev. So the Soviets are going full bore. They are attacking quite a lot of units here now. Fortunately for us, their morale is low, their effectiveness is low, and so our troops are doing pretty well on the defensive. We also didn't attack with a number of those infantry units of ours, so they also have some entrenchments. But we've kind of got four major Soviet pockets, not pockets, but areas of resistance, perhaps. One in front of Leningrad, one still in front of Moscow, and then one forming up near Kubyshev, as well as pretty much an infantry-only one down near Stalingrad. We only have sufficient resources with the pocket in front of Leningrad and Moscow at the moment. They've got anti-tank guns down there, too? Jeez. Maybe we can destroy another British destroyer on the Norwegian convoy route. Well, they're at least forming up a bunch of troops. Roma battleship is launched. More British commando raids in Norway. And that'll do it for that turn. So we're into June of 42. The Russians get, what, 8 more units this turn? So we destroyed a bunch, but there were 8 more units. They're up to 76 or whatever it is. Let's see if we can finish off this partisan unit. I don't think I have enough supply to do it. Maybe, actually. There we go. Got it. Okay. So we need to leave these guys here. Move this. Garrison's close enough there. Move that garrison up here. And so those 2 garrisons should take care of those 2 pockets, which have been a pain for us for some time now. Why are these guys so ineffective on the breach here? Okay. Can we get this army here, the 22nd? We did. Okay. Alright, let's hit the troops to the west of Moscow. Got 2 shells and get rid of some of their entrenchments. Okay, destroyed them. Alright, we'll move our headquarters into Moscow directly. Our mechanized force, we've kind of formed a bit of a salient here, but by moving these troops into Moscow directly, it will help our supply line, or should help the supply line considerably. Let's attack these infantry here. 7th Army here. Nope, not quite. Still, we destroyed several Soviet units down that way. Large formation forming up in front of Kuybyshev in that direction. Alright, well, drove back at least the core in front of Kerch. We didn't destroy it, but... Okay, we destroyed this core. Understand what these rockets do. I mean, I guess they hurt their supply, but that's maybe morale too. Anyway, they're forming up along this river line near Stalingrad. Okay. So, Tambov. Let's move a headquarters to Tambov, I think. Got 2 ready to move, right? So move one of these guys. Tambov, what'll that do to supply here? It'll be manageable. We're on this river line on the west side, so I think that'll provide some cover. And then we'll put these guys at Rizhev. That should help the supply situation north of Moscow a bit. We still at 72? 71. Okay. Alright, let's move toward Volkov. That's another national morale objective, so taking that would be useful. Our fighters are actually decent at ground attack now. destroyed that armor. They are not effective right now. Okay, we destroyed that army in front of Volkov. Can we get to Novigrad? That would be great. Interceptors. Hey, we destroyed an enemy air unit. Nice. Fighters shredded them. Maybe we can surround Novigrad. Reinforce those Finnish units up there. All right. Operate this airborne unit out this way, I guess. We're gonna need to clear this rail line and clear out these enemy units in front. 70 units. So slightly stronger enemy. Alright, we're gonna, since we're attacking out of Kerch now, I'm also gonna try and threaten out south from Rostov. See if we can destroy these British troops up near this Mosul. I guess not this turn. Maybe next turn. Do they still have supplies coming to the Soviet Union through Iran? It doesn't look like it. I guess we've taken Saudi Arabia, U.S. has an inactive supply route. I think they've got a garrison at Tehran. Okay. Operate this Italian bomber into... Oh, fuck. I clicked the wrong hex. I was gonna say, let's operate him in there, see if we can... Okay. All right. Just have to be worried about the American invasion of North Africa. Just keep bombing the supplies in Dover with my short-legged buzz bombs. Why can these guys not upgrade fully? Very strange. Is it due to like dockyard limitations or something? Alright, there's a British sub here. Maybe it'll go away. Alright, let's pull back to Oslo. I don't know exactly where you need to go to get fully reinforced, but you got the supply to force march it, don't you? Or do I have to set you to hunt mode to do that? It's weird. You get more range on hunt. The German fleet's going to start forming up near Norway. We're going to keep those convoy routes clear. That's an order. Not that we can effectively fight the Royal Navy right now. They've got 33 ships. We've got 19. With the Italian Navy, it's a near equal situation. But then the U.S. Navy kind of tilts things in their favor. Okay. All right. I think that does it for this turn. Let's diplomacy chits available? No. R&D? No, I guess the Germans maybe? Amphibious warfare we can research? Okay. Alright, let's purchase. Germany has enough to buy another heavy tank, but we don't have any heavy tank units left, so I guess we just go with an army. I don't know what good a cavalry division is going to be, but we can try and buy that. Italy has 200 MPPs. That's enough for... I don't particularly want any of these things. I guess paratroopers or special forces could be nice. Okay. All right. One more turn. Soviet partisans destroying some stuff. Naval weaponry level 2 for Germany. Our income's over 1,000 now for Germany, as we take more and more ground. I'm curious to see. We should check what the Soviet income, what happened to the Soviet income after the fall of Moscow. I wonder if it plummeted. Wouldn't shock me if it did. They moved them rather than reinforce them, so they moved a half-strength corps to adjacent to the Kerch bridgehead. Why would you do that? Unless you're trying to get them killed. I wish, you know, the game does show rail lines on this, and I like that. And I like the way that some of those things filter supply sometimes. But one thing I wish the game did, like, effectively was actually tie supply to a rail line. And what I mean by that is, like, if a unit has no rail or major road, it should basically be almost no supply. Even if there's, like, truck supply. You know, it should, like, trace the adjacency to the nearest actual supply source, rather than kind of the way the game usually treats it, where it's like a proximity to a headquarter, kind of, if that makes sense. Alright, they keep trying to attack and destroy this army. And they keep driving it away, but they have not actually destroyed it. That level 3, that 3-star army now. But they are... Oh, I was going to say maybe they'd get it with that armored unit, but maybe not. Now they're just being driven into the interior of the Soviet Union. Strong counterattack out of Kubachev, though. I'm not too worried in the long term, I don't think, without Moscow. It seems like the impact of the loss of Moscow was so huge. We'll probably win, but it's just a matter of how long it takes us to wear them down. My other concern, though, is if the Americans are going to start landing in a few months in North Africa, and all of our North African troops are east in Iraq and Iran, we're going to need to deploy some new troops to North Africa to hold it. I mean, we'll have a little bit of time because they'll land against Vichy first, but that'll only buy us a turn or two. Unless we get some sort of reinforced North Africa at great cost type event. There's some U-boats at Kiel that could be usefully employed in the Black Sea against the USSR. Sure. Alright, this German corps, we're going to deploy... I hate to do one of our new heavy tanks to North Africa, but I think we need to. Okay. Alright, enemy unit destroyed here. Tactical error, can you do anything against this shock heavy tank? Got another headquarters unit there. We still have air units that are under supplied. I made that attack to get their entrenchments down. Alright, they have no entrenchments, and now the attack odds get much better for us. 4-1. Got him. Alright, we'll shatter the headquarter unit here east of Moscow. Shatter this enemy army as well. Like I said, it kind of starts to feel like mopping up operations when it's unfolding like this. Infantry against those anti-tank guns. Okay, so we just completely shattered the enemy front in front of us near Moscow. Split these, what had been large formations, in two, and have now effectively driven them apart. Okay. Alright, so they were at what, 71, 72 at the end of the last turn. Now they're down to 60, 66. Enemy contact! Contact front! We destroy this heavy tank unit. Got it. Nice. So these guys are going to be out of supply. It's not great. But we got a heavy tank unit. Okay. Alright, so they... This army pull back. Okay, I need more troops down here. Yeah, we got this army up here that's surrounded. Kind of forgot about them. They'll die next turn. Okay. Okay. Threatening to push. Not really planning on doing that, but we've got a longer front here near Stalingrad. Kerch Bridgehead. Can this armor force its way out? Did manage to shatter the enemy to its front. Alright, so we're across into the Caucasus from Kerch. Alright, there. see what we can do up north. Novigrad, maybe we can take Novigrad this turn. Seems like some of the troops that we'd been fighting in the south might have been pulled from the Leningrad front because it feels like there's fewer enemy troops in front of us right now. Can our bombers finish these guys off, maybe? Yes. Good job, boys. Novigrad is ours. Not that it was a major objective, but... Alright, let's hit this guards heavy tank unit to our front. Alright, so we didn't destroy the tank unit, but we did push it back. Quite a few enemy infantry units around Volkov. Let's go ahead and reinforce the armor here. Alright. We'll pull the headquarters up to Leningrad next turn, I think. Maybe we'll take Volkov next turn. Soviet strength is down considerably, down to 63 units. Okay. Trying to strengthen our force around Saratov with what I've got, just to hold that southern flank. I feel like it does weaken the enemy's supply. You can see these guys don't have very good supply out this way. I can't help but wonder if that's because we're threatening them from the south here. Might be wishful thinking. Okay. Meanwhile, we got naval weapons level 2 now, so we can upgrade some ships. Copenhagen. Alright. German Navy mostly upgraded. Surprised despite the, like, what, 40% chance our diplomats have had no more success in Turkey. Okay. No, I just want you to move to that hex. I don't actually want you to shoot at the oil fields. Can they do any damage to these guys? Apparently not. Be great if we could get more troops into Tehran. Also be great if we had a chance at defending anything in North Africa. Turkey is at a 40% chance to swing toward our side on any given turn. We're having absolutely no success with that. By 3 new corps of infantry. Got a lot of infantry arriving this fall. We'll need it. Deal with the Americans. Alright, anyway, we're creating a pocket here. I think these troops near Kalinin will probably get overrun pretty quickly. Troops near Vladimir also, and then we can just drive on Kubachev. We could even go north toward Kazan and then south. Granted, there's no good roadway there, but hey, whatevs. We will see how that plays out, however, in our next episode. Until our next episode, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.